So I'll wait for some more people to jump on here, but I found a place that I like to do lives. So that's the first thing. Hey, everybody. I found a place that I like to do lives. It's in front of this amazing spinach plant that my mom gifted us. There's going to be dogs barking and neighbors and all those things I can't control, but hi, Connie. And I've been doing a lot of thinking today. Since my live yesterday, I'd like to tell you guys that, oh my God, I hit 5,200 subscribers and it's kind of surreal, you know. I did not think that I would ever be in this position to have so much love and so much support from people around the world. I'm in shock. And I just really wanted to think and reflect upon last night, you know, with the live and so many people. And I went through everybody's comments today, and I wanted to learn about the, you know, what everyone was saying and what everybody, you know, really thought of it. And, you know, when you make up in your own head that, you know, you make up a story that you're not going to be good at something, and you make up a story that thank you, you make up a story that you're not going to be good. You make up a story that what are people going to think and how are people going to treat, you know, act. And I've gotten out of my way to be able to be in the camera and not care about my appearance, which, you know, every single one of us has body dysmorphia, every single one of us, and it's not our fault. And we are in a world that just has so much vanity and so much about appearance and not about who we are in our soul and in our brain, in our being. Our being is what matters. Our being is what matters. Negative self-talk is the biggest disease of the world. Negative self-talk will lead to chronic disease. There are many studies to prove that. And I decided, it was just on my heart, I love you too, that I really, really connect with so many of y'all on here. There goes Dexter doing the running fence thing. Please excuse him. It is so hard to not say negative talk. So, okay, so before I do this, it's going to be Sundays at 4 o'clock. I think it's a great time. It's the most beautiful time. It's when I feel the most awake. I've already slept in. I've already had the breakfast. Okay, look at this dude. Dexter! Anyway, sorry. I can't ever get a peaceful moment because of that boy. But anyway, I really thought about it. Sundays at 4 o'clock, sharing stories to build strength. You know when you want something to be perfect, but it's not? Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Hey, come here. You're not going to interrupt my live. Come here. Come on, Dexter. Oh my God. My love, can you come get this boy? Oh, you're on your therapy machine? Oh, okay, I'll get him. I'll get him. Hold on, I'll get him. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I'm on a live video right now, and this is not helping. I cannot hear, so you need to go inside right now. You need to, yes, walk of shame. Walk of shame. Go inside. I'm on a live. It's not what we're doing. Okay. All right. He's going. You get inside. No, you cannot play with your friend while mom is on a live. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, I temporarily live in a subdivision, not for long, because we are looking for land and a house in the country. But for right now, everybody has dogs. So let's proceed. Walk of shame for Dexter, that's over. Oh my God. So, focus. I have a squirrel brain, focus. So I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it this morning, and I finally felt something that's on my heart to share with you guys. And what it's going to be is sharing stories to build strength. And I really want to have everybody know how special you are, how much love, and how much love that we can have for ourselves. But there are ways that we have to do that in order to get to that point. I had therapy for about 3 years, and I found many coping ways. I've found many ways to build strength, and I've utilized what I've learned in order to help with animals and people. I always have loved people, like always loved people. I love seeing people have the best lives that they possibly can. But what I realize is if I share stories, and the stories are more than the videos, and I hope y'all know that a 24-minute video of adjusting two horses is not showing the whole story. So this time that I'm here is going to be utilized to talk about like how that feels and how what I'm doing to help them. And it's not just about I'm going to be candid. I'm always honest, but I'm going to be candid. It's not about cracking a neck. It's not about popping something. It's not about that. It's so much more when the horse is so connected and that they're in sync. So, if you're catching me live, this is a story that I'm going to tell you guys. I have got to tell you the stories, and if I don't tell the stories, then you're not seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing the whole picture. And I know that the world gives us much anxiety, and I know that people give us anxiety. I know that stressful times right now give us anxiety, but I'm not focused on that. As I know that the anxiety is real, but these are coping mechanisms, and there's ways to build strength and know that you're beautiful and that you're loved and that you're special. And there's so many of you that just have the biggest hearts and the things that y'all are saying on the live. So I know this is an impromptu second live really quickly, and I just feel like I have to say this. I just feel like I have to say that you guys are amazing women around the world, amazing women, amazing men who are watching this video. And I'm doing this today because I want you guys to know a story that goes with the videos, and something that you don't get to see very often. I know that most of this is because of what I'm saying here. And the story that I'm going to tell you today is a really, really sweet story. Really sweet story. And I wrote it down because I wanted to take all of my inside thoughts, and I wanted to say this. When you realize that no one's coming to help you, when you realize that you're flooded and no one's coming, there's a sense of mortality, a sense of a helplessness that you feel, and it helps you fight back. It helps you to keep going. And when I get anxiety, I'm going to show y'all some of my techniques that I do when I have anxiety. I have anxiety, maybe social anxiety, and I don't get anxiety when I'm in my own office. Sometimes when I'm meeting a new person, but being flooded and wading out of flood waters with water to your waist and holding your dog and having your husband pack all your belongings into a truck, it humbles you. It makes you feel like you have to find ways to cope. Therapy helps, but not everybody can afford therapy. Therapy is quite it can be quite time consuming, and it can take a long time. So fight or flight. So before story time today, we're going to do three things, please do them with me, that calm your body. All right, so I'm going to teach you. Here we go. The first thing that you need to do to calm your body is that you need to lick your lips. Okay, so everybody do this with me, okay? Here we go. Lick your lips, open them up, and then breathe in. And that cold feeling on your lips, it actually talks to your heart and says everything's okay. So lick, breathe in. So that cooling feeling you're feeling on your lips is very calming. Now the second thing you can do is you can do your chest. So you just rub your chest and you say, I am good. I am okay. I am okay. I am safe. I am safe, I am loved, and everything's okay. Okay? So these are the two things that I really do. This and the breathing in. Those are the two main things that I do. The other thing that I do whenever I'm about to go into a group of people is I take 3 breaths through my nose, and then I breathe out through my mouth, and I just go through my nose. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready? And then I blow out for 7. Okay, so those are my 3 techniques that I've learned to do to calm me. So I always do those before I start with the horse. Just breathing in and out through the nose, out of the mouth, do the chest, and then doing the lips. I think the horses know that I'm doing that. I think they really do. I think that the calming mechanism, they can feel our heart just like their heart can calm our heart. They can feel our heart. They can feel our fears. They can feel our worries and our concerns. So that's how I wanted to start this story time with Dr. Lauren today. Is I wanted to talk about how we all can calm and how I calm when I work with horses. Now, when I work with cattle, I have to move very, very slowly, like a snail's pace, because quick movements can kill you. Cows can really get you if you go fast, and so I had to learn to go really slow. So, are y'all ready for story time? Can I get a thumbs up or a heart or something in the bottom? I've got a really great story to tell you guys today. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, so this is a story from my perspective of the moment that arrive at a ranch. All right. So, my boots hit the ground, out of the truck, and I feel the earth under my feet. And I say to myself, Lauren, let's make them better than we found them. The breeze of the wind grazes across my face, and the smell of the Texas country brushes over my nose. I hear the horses. I feel the horses. I can feel my energy internally resetting. I sense their thoughts, and I'm hearing their words through the breeze. It's muffled until it's not. I get closer into the stalls. I'm moving towards the barn. The smell is amazing of hay and leather saddles. I come around the corner to the opening of the barn, and I see a beautiful blonde horse, a beautiful blonde glowing mare, radiating like the sun. She's about 14.2 hands tall. She catches my eyes. I move closer so she can smell my hands and my hair. I feel her feelings. I feel her worries. I feel her strength that wants to be bigger. She doesn't trust me. She wants to trust me. She wants to be steady. She doesn't want to be worried. Her curiosity is refreshing. She is so nervous, but she comes close anyway. She looks at me, and she looks at Jess, and she looks at her new owner. The new owner has only had her for a month. Everything inside of her is quivering to know safety. She wants to be safe. And I know that horses use other horses and other animals to know that they're safe environmentally, around them in their surroundings. But the 3 of us standing there with this mare is all that she has. The new owner begins to report all of the trauma and all of the history that the mare has gone through. She reports that she was starving. She reports that she was unloved. She reports that she was moved around. She reports that she was emaciated, that her owner died, that no one took care of her, so she got moved again. She was sad, and she got moved again. She feels the story. She feels it as the new owner is recanting the story. She knows the words that are being said. She tightens up. She tenses her eyes. I give Jess the lead rope, and I say, let's begin. I cup my hand and I softly graze over her eye. She won't let me. She pulls away. So I ask her again, and I cup her eye, and she doesn't want me to. She doesn't want her eyesight to be taken away. She has to see. I hear and feel inside of me, she has to see, she has to see, she has to see, and she cannot be blind. I whisper to her in her ear, it's okay. It's okay, girl. I got you. I got you. It's okay. Easy, girl. Easy, girl. You're safe. You're safe. You are safe. You are in a good home now. She loves you. You are safe. With every motion that I make, she watches me as I sweep down her body to show her my intentions. I sweep down her body to show my intentions through every action that I make on her. She turns to look at me as I ask for her foot on the back right. I ask her for her foot on the back, and I click. And she lifts her foot, but she's so unsure. I don't want my foot to come off the ground. I make a certain motion. I wait for her to soften and to loosen up her foot and relax her foot. And I wait as she processes. And I make a motion. And then she processes that. And then I make another motion, and I wait till she processes that. And once her back foot has begun to relax, that's when I do the quick adjustment. I must do the adjustment quick. She doesn't like the adjustment to be quick, but the adjustment must be quick in order to move the joint. I feel her movements. Jessica begins to tell me what her eyes are doing, as the eyes are the window to the soul, and the eyes allow her mood to radiate through them. The eyes of a horse will tell you so much. The eyes will tell you if they're relaxing, if they're scared, if they're nervous. I feel her body begin to relax as her eyes blink and fall softly. The wrinkles in top of her eyes come thicker and multiple. And then the mare shows a sign of relief for the first time, and it's evident to me that she has never felt this much relief. The new owner asks questions about her body. The new owner is questioning me as I'm working. How about the body? How is it doing? But I'm so in a trance with my work that I have to split my focus. I have to split my focus between what the owner is saying and what the horse is feeling, and I simply cannot do it. So Jessica senses this, and she talks to the owner. And Jessica begins to talk to the owner, so it allows me to continue to be in this moment with this mare. We work in sync like that, Jessica and I, after 3 years of working together. I continue to run my hands all over this mare and check her joints. I go to each one part of her body, checking her motions. I glide my hands down her soft fur, soft body, and I feel her lower back, and I feel her motions, and I feel her start to relax. After working on the hind end of the mare is starting to relax, but she still doesn't trust. She wants to be a good girl. She wants to trust. She's not offering to do anything bad. I get to the front part of the mare, and I start to work on her legs, and this is when I feel her melt in my hands. When her legs, she had a shoulder out of place so bad, and she doesn't understand, but the moment of the release of the adjustment, she starts to melt and soften and relax and lick and chew. And the lick and chew is part of the process of lowering her fight or flight stress, lowering the stress that she's felt for years as she was moved from home to home to home and not ever loved. When I get to the lower neck of the mare, this is where I feel something quite wrong. It's wrong. Everything inside of me is screaming that something is not right with the bottom right side of the mare's neck. There's a hole. Jessica is on the left side of the mare and I'm on the right side of the mare. And Jessica said, "You didn't say a hole, did you?" I said, "Yes, there's a hole the size of my thumb." Jessica said, "There's a hole on the other side as well." I asked her what she meant. I reach across the mare and I feel on both sides of her neck and there's a hole on either side. And everything inside of me screams, that's where I got shot. That's where I got shot. As I muster up and strengthen myself to not cry in front of the owner, I can feel the moment where the horse began to tell the story of the moment that she was shot. The bullet grazed through the side of the bottom neck and exited the lower right side of her neck. It wasn't a very big bullet. It must have been a .22. Maybe somebody was using her as target practice. It's okay. It's okay because she is going to be so much better. She's in a new home. I continue the adjustment and I tell myself, I'm so glad that she's with this beautiful new owner. She has a barn that's the size of most of our homes. I continue to work on her neck. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll breathe. I continue to work on her neck. I feel the motion of her 7 vertebrae. By the time that I get to the neck, the mare is relaxing so much that she's licking and chewing and yawning. She begins to yawn over and over and over, and she's at 4 yawns. She feels so relaxed. When I finish the adjustment, she walks off into the sun, and the sun is shining through the barn. And we watch her walk with her head low and her body relaxed, and she's a peace about her body that is like she's never felt in her whole life. And in that moment, I'm thankful for this amazing mare. The new owner has a huge backyard for her. She has a buddy in the backyard, and he's amazing gelding. She is set free into the backyard, and she takes off the halter, and the mare is so gentle. She walks over into the pasture. I say, what is she gonna do with her new body and her new motion? She spreads her legs and she pees. And then she shakes her whole body. It looked like years of weight had come off of her body. She went over to her friend like she was telling him a story about what an amazing adjustment she just got. And at that moment, I was so thankful. I turned to the owner and I said, you have given this horse the gift of a lifetime, to know safety, to have a safe home, to have a safe place. And she said, well, thank you for loving on her and thank you for the adjustment today. It was amazing to have her feel such relief and to know that you're going to be the chiropractor for her. And then she said, can you come back next month and adjust me, my husband, my dog, and my other her horse, and everybody? So this is the story that I wanted to tell today. And, there's so many stories like this. And, how do you capture that story inside of, 24-minute video when I was there with the mare for, almost an hour and 45 minutes? So, what was it from? I came in late. Oh, I wrote it. It was on my paper, so I had written down all the story. So I've decided that, when I was, younger, like my husband reminded me when I was 11, 12, 13, and 14, I used to write poetry. And he said, You're such a great storyteller, and you're so you're so amazingly able to capture the feeling and the essence, and all the senses of a moment. And I love being able to speak for the horses. And yesterday on the live we talked about, you're welcome, we talked about how horses talk to me. And not that it's not like I hear per se words, it's almost like a feeling, like, a feeling of being able to read them and their body language and their emotions and how they are. And I have that gift with people. I know that I've had that gift with people, but I did not know I had it with horses until recently. And the story of this mare was what came to mind. Was every horse has a story. I saw a lot of you say, like, is it Prim? And it was not Prim. It's not Prim's story. This horse is a Palomino, a blonde, beautiful, glowing, soft mare. She's just beautiful. And Prim is beautiful. And I'd love to write the story of Prim, but it's difficult. It is a rare and special gift. Thank you. Prim is quite beautiful. I don't feel like sometimes horses are at the moment are well ready to open up. And you take someone like Voodoo. Diana just said Voodoo so needed that accident from that trauma, from after that accident, and he needed that adjustment. Voodoo did. But I don't think, sorry, my water keep falling. I don't think that some horses are ready to tell their story, just like some people aren't ready to tell their story. I mean, if I ask, Nikki or Vanessa or, Connie or any of the women on here, you guys may share your story through your words and sharing what you've gone through. But not all people want to tell their story. I mean, some people are 76 years old and they'll never tell their story. We're talking about story time. We're talking about how horses are able to talk with me or show their actions, and through their actions talk with me, and that people are not ready to open up. And I think sometimes horses aren't ready to open up. I think that Voodoo, he's not talking much. I don't hear Voodoo talk much as far as his actions. And Jessica and I are starting to feel this in sync. And I think after you're around horses for years, I've been around horses since I was in the womb. My mom was writing Susie Q. Frost that I showed you last night, that painting of her. She wrote her when I think I was 7 or 8 months pregnant. My mom was 7 or 8 months pregnant with me when she was on her back. So I was on horseback in womb, right? And I was on horseback for the first time at 2 years old. And I really connect with horses, like on a very spiritual level. Like I said, I believe God gave us horses for a reason. I think horses were created for a reason. And I believe that that's why horses are for therapy and for healing, for wounded warriors and, people who have had grief and trauma. And, that's why there's such a good animal and a good fit for that. Well, in my story times, I would love to share stories of animals that do talk, because there are some, I would say maybe half talk and half don't. There are some times where they tell me their name. When I tell the owner says, well, their name is their name is Cowboy. And I keep hearing over and over inside that it's Tango, Tango, Tango. Sometimes I've called that out and the owner freaked out, and I think that freaked me out, that I kept hearing the real name of what their original name was before they were sold. I think that I agree. I think with what Rebecca just said, the more empathetic the horse, the less they talk. They are calm. Same with humans. Humans communicate telepathically. Yeah, I think Voodoo is very confident. I think Voodoo is a hero. He's the stud. He's the one that takes care of the herd. And I don't think that he really needs to talk much. I think some horses do, and they tell a story. This mare, when I came around the corner and I saw her, I was blown away, just seeing all of her actions and knowing that she wanted to feel safe and she wanted to feel safe. And I think we're all like that. I think we don't go out in the world as much. Maybe we don't go to the stores. We don't go around because we have social anxiety. But if you break down the cause of social anxiety, isn't at the root of it that we are not feeling safe, that we don't want to be around people, that people hurt people, that people make us feel this way? So a lot of my patients tell me that they don't feel safe, that they don't trust people. They don't trust, that they're going to be okay. And I think horses are the same. I think that one of my amazing teachers, um, I'll answer that, Nikki. I'll answer that in just a minute. Um, I feel like people want to feel safe, and when they go out in the world and they're at Target and we see on TV there's all these bad things happening in the world, we don't want to go out there and we don't want to experience the world. And I told I told y'all in the video, I'm an ambivert. I prefer to be home, but I'll push myself to be in the world. I'll push myself to drive to a ranch to see a horse. I'll push myself to go to an event where I'm going to meet a bunch of horse owners that I can help more horses. And um, why would some love water and others not? Oh, I'm not sure of that. I think sometimes they're traumatized. But horses have gone through trauma and they store it in their mind. They store a trauma. Like, if I got in that trailer, something bad happened. If I got in that water, something bad happened. If she lets me cover my eye, like in the story, if she covers my eyes and I go blind, that's when I got hurt. Horses store those bad memories. I'm going to tell y'all two more things that just came up. But I wanted to tell y'all about how horses store memories and stories inside of them. My mom told me this story, and it was an amazing story. She said, Susie Q. Frost, the one y'all saw in the painting on the wall, Susie Q. Frost was bought from Frost Ranch. It was a ranch out in Houston, on West Houston, out that way. And my mom said that, she had heard that there was some bad trauma that had happened to her out there, and that involved this certain gentleman, this guy. Well, when my mom called the, what do you call it? The vet or the farrier. I get the story wrong. My mom would have to tell it. But my mom said that the farrier or the vet came out, and this had been like, there was a guy with the farrier vet, and this guy, my mom hadn't seen him in like 20 something years. And she said, "Are you the guy that was out there at this place, blah, blah, blah?" He said, "Yeah." And my mom said, "Okay, well, they were in the stall doing the work, and when the man went to walk behind Susie Q, she literally bucked, double barrel kicked, and threw this guy across the stall." And my mom said, "This mare has never kicked anybody." Come to find out, that guy was at that ranch, and when that guy asked her name and where she was from, he had a look on his face like, oh, he knew why the mare did that. He didn't want to file a complaint. He didn't complain about it. Maybe he did something to her when she was young, and 20 years later, she remembered it. I think we all store those memories, about trauma. She remembered that guy. Horses don't forget a smell. I always say I wear the same deodorant, and they smell my vanilla mint deodorant that I get, this super crunchy, I call it crunchy, like hippie deodorant, but I think they smell and they know, I think they know. Okay, so that was the one thing I was going to tell you, is horses store trauma in their mind. Horses store trauma in their mind. So you have to get them out of that trauma, whether it's a trailering incident or water or, whatever that trauma. So when Voodoo got that adjustment, it helped to process out that trauma, like, this was my trauma, and to move it and stretch it and have him see that it's okay. I think that was really therapeutic for Voodoo, and that was amazing to see. Okay, so one of the questions, I have not, Diana, did you meet Perry? No, I have not met anybody else's horses yet. I look forward to it. The question that she asked, that Connie asked was, and Vanessa, was, have I ever cried when I got a connection with a horse? Have I ever cried? Whew, man, there has been maybe 10, maybe two handfuls worth of time where I heard or felt a story or something at the moment. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Like, I don't know. I really don't. It helps process out trauma. Yes, adjustments help process out trauma. Yes. we store it in our nervous system. We store it in our fight or flight, in our subconscious, and it really helps. Um, so, okay, so did I cry? So, yes. I was in, I'm trying to think of the name of the town, LaGrange. I was in LaGrange, Texas. I was called by a lady to come out to her ranch, and she has these workshops that they do for women. They're like women empowering women workshops where you go out and you stay for 2 nights and you bring a tent and or an RV and you hang out. Well, I went out there to adjust her horse, and the minute I walked up to the horse and I met the lady and everything, it was in an arena and there was this beautiful landscape and the sun was shining in, and met the horse, and the horse had this thing called a trach, where they have to go in and they have to cut a hole. It's like an open hole, kind of like humans get. And all the snot and the mucus and all this stuff can drain out of this hole, but they do it in horses too. And they can still run barrels. They can still work, but they just have this trach right here. And I walked around to the horse and I saw the trach, and the lady was saying, but he's strong. He's strong. He's a strong horse. He still works. He still runs barrels. He still does all the work with this trach. And I was like, what? Like, he still works with a trach? I could not believe that. And so I went to go touch him. And the moment I put my hands, and I know there's a connection once I put my hands in the rear on this ligament near their tail, and then I put my hand on the low back, I know that there's this, it's like I'm plugging in, like a plug, like boom, like you plug in a 3-prong, and I plug in this 3-prong, and it's like boom. And as soon as I put my hand on the low back and I put my hand on the other side, and I feel like a current is running through, kind of like that circle of love that y'all saw where I scratched Storm and Storm scratched Jessica and Jessica scratched Ivy and then I scratched Bucky's and then Bucky scratched Ivy. It was like a full connection of like electricity, like all around. And I feel that like when I put my hands, and then there's like a circuit, and it's like positive, negative, and everybody's connected. Well, when I put my hand there, I feel like boom, I'm plugged in and connected. And all of a sudden at that moment, I felt like my soul was just connected with this horse. I looked out, the sun shining in, there's like music playing in the background, the horse is telling me, or something's like into my head, like it was like a whole a story of what he had been through, and I can't even explain that moment. But at that moment that I felt like I learned, and he had the trach and all this stuff was happening, yeah, he was talking to me. He was telling me, he looked back at me, he sighed, and I just felt like he relaxed under my hands, and he was, how do you say, like, what's the word for when you're like getting it off your chest, but like downloading, like it was like he was downloading all of this stuff, like he was, downloading all of these feelings onto me. My mom always says that I need to put like a white bubble around me and protect myself from all this stuff that I take on other people's energy, other people's feelings. And I do venting. There you go. Like a venting, like a ventilating. That's good. Processing. Yes. Thank you. So like ventilating and venting all of this, like a download though, almost like so it just downloads, it vents, it ventilates, it comes out of the horse and it goes like into me. And then I just hear, I just see all these flashes, and then I hear, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, but I'm okay. And I don't know. I know that it does happen sometimes, and like I said, I do feel like it's a gift, to be able to hear that. But I do the same with people. I do the exact same with people. Like, oh my gosh, like if I could not divulge HIPAA and break privacy rules and things like that, I can't really tell stories, but to give, what? That is so sweet. Okay, you talk about making somebody cry. Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. That's sweet. So I feel like once I started to process my own trauma, my own things, going through the 3 years of therapy. And she started telling me how to control all of it, control my self-awareness and my self-control and my self-care and not being extreme. And and to be able to connect, I feel like it opened it up even more. I mean, maybe I've had it this whole time and I just didn't know how to express it. But then doing these videos, I'm starting to start to see it more. Like, they say empaths can't have a secondhand things like furniture because they can feel the previous owner's energy through it. Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, I think I agree with that. I definitely feel like you have to have a clean slate, like when I step out of the truck and I'm like de-stress and I'm like, okay, let's leave them better than we found them. Let's go change a horse's life today. Let's go see what we can decompress, ventilate. Yeah, maybe it's decompress that I'm saying, like decompress a horse and let them feel safe and be themselves. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I can't tell people's names and I can't tell ages and all that, but I did go to the office today. I could not see this lady. She's pregnant, and I could not see her any other day because I took off this whole week. I'm only working Monday. And right when the lady walks in the door and she starts telling me everything, I immediately was like, her neck hurts, her shoulder hurts, her low back hurts, her right hip hurts, her foot hurts, her low back hurts. Oh my God, she was in a trauma. It was crazy. She got hit in a car accident from the side of the car, and she has like a whole right-sided body trauma. And she was like, so my neck hurts and my shoulder hurts and my low back hurts and my hip hurts. Yeah, that's true. I do ground a lot in the backyard here. Well, anyway, so I do feel like I can feel people, and maybe you guys can see it. I know a lot of y'all said that my voice is calming and soothing and things like that. And I think that sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I do ground a lot. Keep my feet in the ground. And I think feeling your feet in the ground is incredible way to reconnect. It reminds you of being a kid, right? Your feet are in the grass and you're walking around and you're feeling the grass and, just kicking your shoes off and, you know, and just relaxing. So I always have my tea, come outside and decompress with my tea. And I think it's important, I'm gonna turn back around. I think it's important to find ways of having great self-care, but I feel like this is me. I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to say it a little louder. I feel like this is me. This is Lauren. Story time. Story time. Let's talk it out, but sharing stories to build strength. We have got to be strong. We have got to be certain of ourselves. You have the same shoes. Blowfish shoes. I love them. I feel like we have to be strong. We have to be grounded. The world's already beating us up enough. She just now gets it. It's a family tradition. Oh, Mom. My mom is on here. Look at her. Family tradition. It's true. It's true. My mom is very special. My mom has been all things. School teacher, special ed teacher, paramedic, horseback rider. My mom is very cool. So I know that these story times will be powerful, and I know that, doing them, it helps me too to be able to talk it out. I don't want you guys to think that, please do not believe that the videos that I'm editing that are 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes, they're not telling the entire story. And I feel like there's so many stories that could be shared. And I don't directly have land yet for my horse Bodhi, but I feel like if I'm telling these stories, then eventually I'll have stories like Jamie and Lester and Shirtless Jake and Alyssa and Brienne. Like I can have all the horses. I can have the horse, I can have the goats, I can have my own place. But 4 to 5 o'clock on Sundays is when I'm going to talk, and we're going to go through and have story time, and I'm going to tell you stories. And I want you guys to share your stories too. Like, share your stories. I listen. I love reading all of your stories. I love hearing, oh my God, like Connie Kentucky girl, Vanessa, like there's a lot of you on here that are opening up and, really talking about your side. And I really love hearing that side because one, I know I'm not alone. Two, I know there's other women in the world that have had other traumas that are not telling those stories. And everybody's story is really special. My grandmother, my grandmothers, oh my God, if I could tell you about my grandmothers, my tattoos, they're all from my grandmothers. They're all from my grandmothers. I mean, I come from a long line of really powerful women, really strong women. This is Geneva. She built B-25 bombers during World War II. She's amazing. That's her taking a break in the wing, eating a sandwich. That's the B-25 plane she built, and she said, do the work. Do the work. But I'm going to go get another tattoo for my other grandmother, Wanda, which is my mom's mom. And my mom's mom and my mom and I all share the same middle name, and I just want to have something that means a lot. I do need to meet the other horse, you're right. It's important to know you aren't alone. One's story is a story that will help someone else. Our stories are meant to be shared. See, absolutely. Like, that's what I think is so powerful of telling stories and sharing all the stories about what we have been through. Think about all of the upcoming young women and young girls. I see children in my practice. They're 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 11-year-old. And, I don't directly Tim and I didn't have kids of our own, but that doesn't mean that I can't, help and mold and share stories with the kids that are in the office and help them to become strong women. There's a lot of kids and teenagers that are really stressed about the way the world is right now. And you talk about anxiety and, please forgive me for saying this, but suicide rates are up 6,000% in some places. And I just really feel like strong women and strong men need to stick together, and we need to rise to know that we're strong. But to do that, we have to share, So, yeah, that's true. Sometimes you'll get a moment of anxiety, but you don't know why. Maybe it's not your story. Maybe it comes from someone else. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes with the anxiety and the stress of the world and others, it puts us into a place of depression. But we cannot stay there. We have to get up out of it. We have to get up out of it, find something, whether it be, crossword puzzles or, going to feed pigeons or, going to brush horses at a sanctuary. We've got to do things that we can do within our limitations, whether it be adopting a kitty cat. Kitty cats. Did y'all guys know this? Kitty cats are dogs are for physical healing. Cats are for emotional, spiritual healing. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. Yeah, so I have a lot more that I'm going to tell y'all in story times. Sundays at 4, set your notifications, the little bell, always on. I would love to have as many people as possible here so we can help each other together through story time. Our trauma gives us strength, but also compassion for others. Absolutely. Telling stories. That's true. Yeah, cats are for spiritual and emotional healing. Dogs are for physical healing. That was per a study that was done that I read. I love having the kitty cats and I love having the dogs around me. I love nature, which, Mom, thanks for the spinach. It's amazing. So, a little nutty, but it's good spinach. It's a spinach plant. I'll never go hungry, Mom. I'll never go hungry. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I guess wrap up here. I'm going to go in, figure out what's for dinner, talk to Tim. Tim was the one that told me I was a great storyteller, so that's why I'm here today. So you guys mean a lot to me. You guys have meant a lot. Diana, thank you so much. You guys are amazing women. You are strong men. You are great people. And I want you to tell yourself, I am loved. I am important. I am special. And my story matters. Your story matters. So I will see you guys next Sunday at 4 p.m. It will not conflict with any of the other go lives, I believe. If it does, I'll move it to Tuesdays at 5 or 6. I can't wait to hear from and talk to you guys again from my little mini garden until we get to the homestead. But it's really special, and you guys are special. Remember, you are loved, you are special, you are important, and your story matters. And do the lip thing and do the chest thing. And until next time, you guys, you just keep your head up and know that you're loved, okay? All right, talk to y'all soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.